let's face it, that sucks. Stock protection on 1994 Bronco, it's a joke. So today we're gonna tighten up the old beast. I've got Dusty, my Ultimate Adventure OBS, back in the shop. We're gonna be doing a Desolate Motorsports full armor kit, rear bumper, front skid plate, fuel tank skid plate, and a hitch, all in one go. Let's go in the shop, tear it down, and get to work. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get this back bumper installed. It's literally a couple brackets that mount to the factory mounting location for the factory bumper. Desolate gives you a bag of hardware and of course the bumper. These brackets will literally bolt on to the bumper like this, and then it bolts right into the factory frame mounting holes using new hardware. I already have my back bumper removed from Dusty. It's been off for a minute, so again, if you are doing this in your driveway, you will have to take off your factory bumper with the factory bumper brackets, and all gets replaced with this. So let's go ahead and get that started and get that installed. This will take 10 minutes or so. What's cool about the Desolate stuff is that they give you all grade 8 hardware. So it looks super nice, super easy. Just bolts right in. Desolate always does this. They put all the hardware with the nuts on them so nothing gets lost. Individually sealed packs, so if you've got a busted box, you don't lose stuff. Actually, I've never had a busted box from Desolate, to be honest with you guys.
Is this mandatory, the chair?
Yeah.
Like, should everybody watching the video get a chair?
Yeah, they should get a chair. That's the tech tip. Get a chair. You need a chair for this install. If you don't have a chair, you absolutely cannot do it. It just won't happen. All right, hat backwards.
Also required.
Required tech tip, hat backwards for the install. If you don't have your hat backwards, you don't have clear thinking and cognitive function, you're gonna mess it up. And then, oh, that's right. What's going on here? Well, maybe the hat backwards wasn't the trick.
No, you didn't have the hat backwards on when you were doing it. That's why.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So start the install with the hat backwards.
Yeah, that's it. I wonder if... Okay. Well, I told you wrong, guys. These brackets go on the insides of these tabs. So, yeah, we're finding out together, guys. Let's see if that did the trick. Oh, like a glove. Now let's put the hitch on. Literally bolts to the factory location using 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. So hopefully we don't have issues like we just had. Well, this doesn't bolt to the factory location. We are going to have to modify a bit. Oh, man. All right, so let me kind of catch you guys up. I put the back bumper on, then realized that the hitch needed to go on first, had to drill some stuff out. So did all that. Now I'm sort of looking at it. I think it's going to be the best thing to do to go ahead and swap the fuel tank skid plate before I put the back bumper on, so I have access to all the holes here. I mean, the bolts. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to get to the top of those. So now I've got my transmission jack up. I'm going to hold the gas tank up, lower it down, and then probably strap it. Put the new skid plate underneath the jack again. Go back up with the entire thing. Pull my straps out. Rebolt it up. And then remount the rear bumper is sort of what my game plan is now. I sort of pivoted in the middle because The hitch threw me off a bit. I didn't realize I was gonna have to drill those 2 rivets out, which was a chore. So that's what I'm doing now, trying to catch back up. All right guys, check it out. So this is the original, the aftermarket. You can see how the original is just all mangled up already. It's super lightweight steel. And, you know, it's done its job. Obviously the gas tank is not damaged, but you know, if you catch a really big rock doing some really hardcore wheeling, there's a chance that's gonna puncture that tank. So aluminum slides off of rocks really easily. It's a lot more, it's lightweight comparatively, and you get a lot more strength out of this. So, and it just looks super sexy. So let's go ahead and get this lifted up there. And we're just gonna go exact opposite of what we just did. Ladies and gentlemen, the fuel tank skid plate is done, solid and secure. The hitch is on. I am going to reconnect my factory 7-pin because I do tow and will tow with this. I'm going to put it right here in the bottom of the hitch. I'm going to drill a couple holes in this and I'm going to rivet this on. So let me knock that out real quick and then we'll move on to reassembling the back bumper for the 3rd time and being done back here. And then move to the front skid plate and call it a day. Bam! Look at that. It's like OEM butter. 3 parts installed so far: rear bumper, rear Desolate hitch, and rear Desolate skid plate for the fuel tank. So far what I'm loving, it obviously gives the truck a lot cooler look in the back because now it looks completed, whereas before I was just missing a bumper. You know, fit and finish is pretty spot on. The hitch was a little tricky because I had to drill those rivets out, but so far I'm loving the way it looks. I can definitely tell it is a substantial upgrade in strength and protection for the back of the truck and underneath the back fuel tank. So now we're gonna go to the front, put the front skid plate on underneath, and then we will call this video a wrap. So let's go bolt the front up. All right guys, we've got everything installed on Dusty, the Ultimate Adventure OBS, and real quick, I'm gonna give you my thoughts and just sort of my initial impressions of everything. Starting up here at the front with the Desolate skid plate. You know, it's something that you don't really see, but again, it just adds a little bit of extra measure of protection in the front of the Bronco. The fit and finish is pretty dialed. I fought the bumper a little bit to get it in. It's just, we use the stock bolts. It's kind of like meshing all a bunch of stuff together. Anyway, we got it in, it looks good. I'm really impressed with the way it fit and finishes. Again, personally, I like the look of the OBS front bumper, so I wanted to leave that versus going with a full pre-winter look on the front of the truck. I think it looks really, really nice. Plus, again, just a little bit of peace of mind protecting the bottom of my radiator. Let's jump back to the back, kind of go over the majority of the things that we installed today. So back here in the back with the Desolate rear bumper, hitch, and fuel tank skid plate, right out of the gates, obviously the most visible and noticeably thing here is the back bumper. You know, the factory bumper on these trucks is like 8 inches out, and it's a big, obnoxious thing. Whereas this is a nice, tight, low profile to the back of the body. Just again, if you're going up a really steep incline, there's less risk of dragging that bumper and you know, just bending it up. The factory bumper, I think on every one of these old OBS trucks, is bent or into the cab. There's actually a little dent here where at one point it did that. So obviously we need to be mindful to not hit the body if I'm backing into something. But regardless, it's just a tighter profile. This is all super heavy duty steel, so if I do set it on a rock or back into something, that's not gonna give at all. And then, you know, again, the extra thing that's more for structural protection is the fuel tank skid plate. You know, probably the most important part of this entire concept and, you know, list of modifications we did in this video is I don't want to be on fire somewhere in a trail because I ripped a hole in my gas tank and sparked and, you know, kaboom. So just added a lot of peace of mind back here with the fuel tank skid plate. Again, it bolts right into the factory location. That's one thing that's really cool about Desolate. Everything is just super well thought out and engineered, so installation is super easy. And then back here in the back with the rear 2-inch receiver hitch, again, everything is a lot tighter. The factory hitch set probably 2 inches lower than this. Now this is up tight to the bumper, so it looks, you know, proportioned right to everything else that's on here. This we did have to drill out to the factory frame rivets and then drill 2 additional holes in the very back of the frame to bolt it on. That is the only thing that we really had to modify with all of this installation, just drilling those things out and bolting it out. So, so far I'm loving the way this thing is coming out. If you like the way that Dusty looks so far, all the things that I've done to it, leave me a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you have any armor or components that you swear by, let me know, because we're not done with this. We have a roll cage next, long travel, and some interior stuff, maybe some mirrors, I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Desolate, thank you so much for helping with this build. Comment what you like most about this video, and we'll see you in the next one.